Okay,
There
there
we
it goes.
go.
I wonder.
There we go. Good morning, good
Hmm.
afternoon, good evening. It is episode number 8. Yeah, 8 of the Three Wise Men. As usual, I am Captain Jay. Down below here, over that way, the camera's backwards. We have Mitchell Wiseman, and then that way we have Food Hunters, Mr. Jared Hudson. And we have a guest that's supposed to be coming in soon. So kind of waiting on him in that aspect. But the topic today is basically questions for believers that come either from believers themselves or from non-believers. So this is Jared's show today, so I'm going to kind of hand it off to him and pass it off to him. There we go.
Hey, folks. All right, so let me click this. I want everybody that's watching this to share it. Share this show. Tell your auntie, your uncle, your grandma, uh, your cousin, your redneck cousin from another brother. Tell them all that we're live on Quake Radio. King without a crown every day with a capital K. Um, so we're live. We got Mitchell here. We got Jason over there, and Captain J. And all right, let's see. I gotta share this. I gotta share this to my personal page. We're live on Cooners Outdoors Ministries. We're live on Quake Radio, Facebook, and we're live on Quake Radio's YouTube. So we got my buddy Adam Monahan gonna come up as a guest. Let's see here. Excuse me.
Okay.
All right, so man, you know what they say? It's a smart fart took the elevator up.
Smart parts.
I didn't hear that. That's the first I've heard that.
All right, so let me. I sent him the StreamYard link and just told him we just started. So we're gonna have a great show for everybody. All right, let
Awesome.
me. All right, I'm logged in. How's everybody doing tonight?
Good, good. I keep looking over. I have a second screen over here. That's what I'm messing with.
Ah, okay.
Trying
You
to be
double
creative.
screened.
Yeah, I'm trying to be creative and trying
Creative with a
to
K.
creative with the
I'm just
camera.
pretending I have a screen over here, but I don't.
Yeah, look over here. I'm looking. I'm looking intelligently at nothing. Nothing there.
All
Yes,
right,
you
let
see
me.
what I love
All right, so I'm getting this shared. All right, I'm sharing this to my personal page. I want to get a bunch of people to tune in. Oh, we got 5 people in here, so it's gonna be a great show. Oh, we got my buddy Adam Monahan gonna come up, and topic is questions for believers, of course, non-believers, and so. All right, let me see. What is her last name? There we go. All right, so different questions uh, come about. One that comes to mind is one of the questions that comes to mind is if you're going through problems in life, you're struggling, and like, and then you get this question. It's like, well, how do you know? How do you know that God works? How do you know that God's real? How do you know that He's going to help you throughout your problems? And I said, well, I can tell you from past experience that I've seen miracles He's done in my life, and then seen what He can do. And of course, the Bible tells us. Of course, the Bible is our true compass we should follow. And the Bible tells us that, hey, um, it tells us of all the many miracles that Jesus performed. What's up, Adam? And so, yeah, and uh, hey, click the Streamyard link, Adam. I see Adam commented there. Yeah, click the Streamyard link and hop on in here. I'm glad to see you tuned in.
it.
So y'all got any thoughts on that? When somebody quit, says, "Hey, how do you know that God's gonna bring you through your problems?" Just kind of questions.
Well, I mean, I don't want to say it's not easy, but it's not an easy answer. But the answer is faith, which is the simple answer. But for me, it was just a struggle understanding that there was something there. Having been a non-believer before, now you just know that it's going to happen. You kind of listen for him, just look for the signs, listen, and kind of tune in. To how he's speaking to you. He speaks to everyone differently, and it's not easy to know that he's going to get you through, but you just know that he's going to get you through. Because you always have to look back and you go, "Oh, I see what you did there. I see how that happened." In the middle of a woman going through this, and you look back going, "Oh, I see why you did that, and why this happened, why this happened, why this happened." So I'm not saying it's an easy answer. Or easy thing to get through. But we all, as leaders, still struggle with that. We're going through that now, trying to where we're supposed to be doing, what we're supposed to be going, and all that kind of stuff. I have no idea. And then we just keep listening. Oh yeah. And then sometimes you have a conversation with a coworker, and then they go, "Oh yeah, there's the answer." And they throw it back at you. Go, "Oh, there's confirmation of that." And so we'll use them different ways to get. Through some of our thick skulls, me exactly having a thick skull. So.
Yeah, and that's right. That's, as believers, we don't have all the answers, and if somebody ever asks anyone, and I recommend anyone who listens to us, or when we're asked questions that we don't know answers to, just be honest and say, "I don't have an answer for you." Sometimes that's better than sitting there trying to come up with something. For me, though, it's the same thing with you, Jason, that he's come through for me before. When I was first saved, I always struggled with okay, so how do I do this? How do I trust this God will get me through it? And really, I had teachers and grandparents at the time who kept telling me, it's well, remember this incident in your life and how you got through that. And it's it was God working in your life before you even knew who he was. And that's kind of what we have to do now as believers, because we're always going to be struggling with doubts and fears. It's well, maybe I didn't hear God right, or maybe this isn't his direction, or doubts happen. It's going to happen. But the main thing is just to remember that he's seen you through it before and he'll do it again. Because that's something like Jared said, the Bible is our compass. It says that God never changes, and he doesn't. He'll always remain the same. So if he saw you through, was faithful to see you through the past problems, he'll see you through these coming problems. Because we're alive and we're always going to have problems in this life, and there'll always be ups and downs and things we need help with. So,
amen. Yeah, there's always, because the best compass in life is, like you were saying, the Bible, and trusting God to lead you in the right direction, because we trust that compass to take us in the right direction where it says, north, south, whatever. Well, if we can trust that compass, surely we can trust God to be our moral compass and our compass in life, tell us where to go.
Well, even more so with God. I mean, a compass is nice, but God actually sees the full picture of where we're going, and what would happen. And for a believer, later on, you start to realize, hey, I can either trust what I'm seeing before me, or I can trust this, our God, to get us to this vision he has for our life. I mean, because he sees every decision we make before we make it. He sees every pit hole, every obstacle, every time we doubt, every time we fear, and he's not surprised by any of it. And so, unlike the compass, which is just like this metallic thing that's controlled by our poles, we have a God who's thinking, living, breathing, and fully comprehends what's before us. So, I mean,
What's up, Adam?
Hello.
Hey, Adam.
So
Hello,
this is
how are you?
Jason. This is Jason, and that's Mitchell.
Captain Jay. Nice to meet you. Welcome to our group here. Appreciate you joining.
How are you guys tonight?
Good, good, good. How you doing?
No complaints. Above ground.
I always say that. I'm on this side of the grass, which is always a good sign.
That's a good sign. So,
I can't hear him.
can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes.
Can you hear me?
Okay.
I'll go out and come back in.
Oh, I can hear Adam real clear.
I can't.
Well, that's strange. So he will be right back. Let's see. All right, let me see. Oh. All right, so how's everybody doing? So everybody that's watching, comment where you're watching from. Let us know where you're watching from. And are you watching on Cooners Outdoors Ministries, or are you watching on Quake Radio's Facebook, or are you watching on Quake Radio's YouTube?
I'm watching from my bedroom.
I'm watching from my cell phone.
I'm watching from this extremely bright yellow room.
No, you painted it. It's extremely bright yellow.
It's bright and loud. Let's see.
See if he comes back in.
Yeah. So yeah, he's coming back in. So anyways, so we was talking about. So you said that having God has the whole picture. Ain't it amazing at the painting that He paints in our life when we trust Him
Oops.
and follow what He says?
Hello?
Huh?
Are you losing us, Mitchell?
I think
Yeah,
I am.
Yeah, it must be Mitchell's phone because it wasn't Adam. I don't think I can hear Adam.
That's interesting.
Mitchell, I can hear you.
Yeah. I've lost. I can't see Jared now.
Uh-oh. Well, hi, Chrissy Anderson. How you
Let
doing?
me try leaving and coming back in.
Okay.
Let's see. Let me send Adam a message. Let's see. Turns out it was.
See if Mitchell figures out how to leave. There you go. He's gone. He'll be back.
Oh, he gone. All right.
Now it's back to two people.
Now it's back to the 2.5 wise men.
2.5. Is that a fat joke? Oh, sorry.
No.
Because you're one and I'm 1.5. Oh, I shouldn't say that. Myself.
The two wise men. That
Two
sounds
wise
better.
men.
Yeah, two wise men. So yeah, that must have been Mitchell's phone. So okay, we got 5 people in here. So everybody that's watching, share this up. There's a guest right there.
You want me to get it?
Click
You
it.
got it.
I got it. Let's see,
Okay.
add stage. There's Mitchell. All right, so can you hear us now?
Yeah, better. There we go.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so
And he's gone again.
So I just sent Adam a message. Turns out it was Mitchell's phone, not yours. Okay. So hopefully Adam will be back in here in just a second.
Let's see if he comes back.
All right, so up there's right there, guest. There he is. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you're so much faster, Anthony.
Next
You
time,
back in-
Jason, I'm just going to go to your house. This is sad.
Sometimes
doing
you
like
know when God is leading you.
Yeah.
He's like, go.
I guess I'm the comical relief here. Because that
no,
last
see.
time I pushed the back arrow on my phone, and it like just took me straight out. It's like, oh, here I am. Bye.
yeah. Sit back in.
So we got, let's see. I tagged, I don't know where he is. I sent him, he's sent the message, so he'll be back in just a second. So
Any
let's
questions about
see.
me being a Jew? I mean, and believer?
Wait, you did what now?
Any questions about me being a Jew and a believer?
Yeah, so yeah, tell us about that. Oh wait, there he is.
We
There he
we
is.
got later. We got Adam coming. I got him. There he is.
Oh, you got him? Cool.
Yeah, quick.
Okay, so it turns out it was Mitchell's phone, not yours.
Well, I couldn't
it's my
hear
phone.
very good either.
Okay.
So it might have been on me too, since Jared, what I was doing earlier over my phone, so it might have messed up something.
Oh yeah. Well, hey, I'm glad you got to tune in for a few minutes. How you been doing?
It's been all right. It's been a good 24 so far. Like I said, I got a few minutes here. So what's your guys' topic this evening?
So we was talking about trusting question about trusting God. When somebody asks you, somebody says, hey, how can you've been going through this and this has been happening to you, how can you trust God and believe that he's going to help you through it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I've been one of those people, and questioned, why for so long has this done this, or why'd this go that way, and and then Jared, a lot about my story and stuff, so we've had a lot of these private conversations about this very topic. And I think it's a good topic to have with people. But the thing that I don't understand is if people have a question about that, like say it's this topic, that they end up not liking what they get told. And the thing about that is people have got to make the changes within their own life first before they expect some. Like in my opinion, people look to God, or they pray at times as if it is a magic wand, and it's not that. That's not how prayer works. That's not how, or at least the way things have happened in my life. I prayed about things for many, many years, and I'm now seeing those prayers that I set out and other people that prayed for me. I'm seeing the fruits of that labor, per se. I guess I don't really have no other way to describe that things dramatically have changed in my life. Once I decided to get sober 5 years ago, and in the last 2 years, in the last 6 months, really turning things over. And, I called Jared one night, was like, dude, I don't know what to do anymore with some of the stuff. I'm so used to fixing things on my own, and I didn't know how to fully get what I was looking for, or, how could I, like, I've got to fix it, and then Jared told me, he's never going to put too much on you that, you can't handle or burden, or I can't remember your exact words, but it really resonated. So I was like, I finally 6 months ago was like, all right, buddy, it's on you. Let's see what you can do. I've done it my way for 42 years.
I know how that is, yeah.
And I can sit here and say that my life has gotten way easier since I've took this route.
That's great.
So if it wasn't for my belief in faith and the good people I have around me, And if I didn't make the ultimate decision to get sober for myself, number one and foremost, none of this is possible, and none of it's possible without the good Lord above looking out for me during the 19 years of nonsense that I put my body through, family, friends, relationships I've ruined. I ruined those things, not the alcohol. I chose to do those things. So that's just a little bit about me, man. I don't really, like I said, I question things every day. Every day I have questions every day.
But you should. That's how you learn. It gets you. If we don't question things, we can't move forward and learn. We're not admitting to ourselves that, there are things we need to learn. We need to learn to trust. We need to learn to have faith, like you said, and rely on a being that we can't see, but we believe in. And that right there takes a lot of time to get used to. It's like, because like you said, we get used to doing things in our own strength with our own hands, and sometimes he'll let us get to the end of that strength before he actually starts stepping in and doing something. And it's through those times when we hit that wall that he actually comes in and starts revealing more of himself. And it's through, and those questions we have start getting answered slowly over time. I encourage everyone who's a believer to ask questions, not to be afraid to, because it's how you learn.
And so many times we let pride get in the way, and we keep thinking, well, I got to do this myself. I'm the only one that can do it. I'm the only one that can fix this. And you just stubborn and bullheaded and try to do it. Well, you screw up every time. When the whole time you're thinking, and then you finally realize, oh, I should just give it to God a long time ago.
That's the thing, I guess I would say, that I'm having the most trouble with, I guess, or struggle with currently, like how to fully live through him, for him, or however it's worded, or whatever people want to that's what I'm really struggling with that currently in my life. And I get confused a lot by, me and Jared have so many of these conversations, and I know he's sitting there thinking man, some of these questions you're asking are just, what the,
Oh, it's okay.
and it's like, I would love nothing more than to figure out one day, what's my journey? What's my, how can I live for God and, every day? Because I don't every day now. I don't. I do me. I probably pray 4 times and 5 times a day. Just randomly out of nowhere, just pray for somebody or and I feel good about when I do those things. And but I feel a lot of time I feel like I know we all sin and all that stuff, and but I think I probably sin a little more than I should, if I'm just being honest, and I hope one day that I fully can see it the way I'm supposed to be, the way he wants me to see it. And I can just live for him. And that's my ultimate goal. I don't know if that sounds silly or if it makes any sense.
That's not silly.
I can only imagine how much things easier they would be whenever I can see. I'm getting little snippets of it now, how things are easier. So I could only imagine how things really could be if I could figure this little roller coaster of life we call, figure it out, I guess. I don't know.
But that's where patience comes in. You have to be patient, not just with God, but with yourself too. We still live in a fallen world, and we're surrounded by temptations every single day, and you'll always be struggling. One of the best videos I've seen was at a pastor's graduation, and he asked this 80-year-old pastor who's done missionary work and all this stuff, the super experience. He asked, "When did you overcome lust?" And he says, "Well, I'll tell you when I have." And that right there just told me that, everyone struggles and it's natural, but it's a slow progress, and you're beginning to see that, and you're beginning to see and I completely I can empathize with your desire just to get it there now, because you don't want to waste any time, because you said yourself, it becomes easier for us when we stop trying to do everything in our own strength or our own understanding. But it's a slow process, so just be patient with yourself. You'll get there. And as for the answers, nobody has all the answers. We never will. I mean, and even when we have an answer, it's like a small segment of a larger picture. So, I mean, don't be disappointed by that either. Even the oldest believers in the world still have so much to learn, and small fragments of the total truth. So.
Yeah, I say to piggyback off what you said, Mitchell, the pastor had asked, an 80-year-old pastor. When I was younger, when I was an atheist and all that, I laughed at Billy Graham stuff. I thought he was hilarious. I thought it was crazy. Now I watch his stuff and I'm like, I get it. There was an interview that he had. I don't remember when the interview was, but I asked him. So basically, I asked him about sinning. You don't sin? And he goes, no, I sin all the time. He goes, because if you broke one commandment, you break them all. He goes, I'm not perfect. I'm always trying to get better. But I'll never be perfect. The only one person that was perfect was Jesus.
Amen.
No, we all fall short. And this is Billy Graham talking. I'm like,
right.
Ooh. So
Billy Graham was one of the, Hi, Miss Teresa.
You don't ever feel that you're not doing well enough. I mean, somebody that like Billy Graham or whoever is not honestly successful at it. Nobody can be. We all fall short. We all stumble. We all do that. But I struggle with that. But say you pray 4 or 5 times a day, Adam. That's probably more than I do. It's not wrong to do that if it makes you feel good, because you've got that fire in there. So you realize that it does work. That prayer is helping, and that's good to do that.
Yeah.
So never, just keep, I say, adding fuel to that fire. So I can kind of see it there. I mean, you're not, it's there. You're acknowledging it. Whereas a lot of people don't see it when they happen. So you actually see that it's there, which is good. So.
And I encourage you to keep asking questions of God, because, like we've discussed several times, He finds ways to answer you. I mean, He won't answer every question, because sometimes we just don't need to know why this or why that. But if you have doubts, or if you have fears, or you have those things creep in, He knows they're there, but He wants to hear it from you. It's like, hey, God, I'm having doubts that you really care about this area in your life. Can you show me that you care, or show me what I'm missing, or help me to understand what's going on here? Just ask questions of them. And sometimes you'll find the answer in the most unlikely of places.
I've actually realized that actually had that happened in my life over the last several years, of something just randomly happened. Like, that wasn't random. That was because of, some other things. But yeah, like I said, when I sit here and I pray a handful of times a day, and it's like, I get enjoyment out of that. Like, I really do. Like, I like just and sometimes, like I've told Jared this, sometimes I'll just sit here at my house, like, the person probably, if I have windows open, walk by, hear me talking to myself, the right thing, I'm just trying to get a closer relationship. And I just have, my grandfather was a pastor for 60 plus years. And
wow.
So, and he's 86 now. And, he's retired from being a preacher and all that stuff since he's gotten older, whatever. But, my sister and my brother-in-law, they both are pastors. They have like I told Jared about this. They have their own. It's like a non-denominational type of church or whatever, and it's called the Bridge. And they started out in like like a 10 by 10 room essentially, and now they've got this big huge place. Over the last couple of years they've built and tried, and I know they went through a lot of trials and tribulations with that in itself. And I've had conversations with my sister. I've had conversations, in the past, my grandfather in the past. But then at those times, I was asking unrealistic questions, in my opinion, or questions that I wanted answered then and now, But as I've gotten older and gotten sober to actually look at things from a different perspective through, I guess, the eyes of somebody else, or like not the eyes through the Lord, because that's impossible in my opinion, but it's just that, like I'm learning so much every day about faith and all that stuff, and I know I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you guys right now if I didn't have that guy looking out for me the day I chose to go sober. Like I don't know. I don't think that I could have honestly done it without him. I just honestly can't sit here and say that I could have done that by myself or just with people around me. Like people that are sober or and don't have faith or whatever, and they're still able to accomplish that. I don't know how they're doing it. I don't. Everybody's journey is different, I guess. I don't know. I just have tons and tons of questions, and we ain't going to cover this in an hour. And I get caught up like trying to figure out what I'm trying to get across, because sometimes when I talk, I sound like a crazy person to myself.
I do it all the time. I sound like a crazy person.
And I told Jared, a while back, we were talking about we've been trying to do a little Bible study ourselves, just me and him, and haven't really, and this is probably going to sound bad, but I really haven't found the time to make that work, and I really need to do a better job of making that time, because there should never be no time you can't give to the Lord, in my opinion. But I get kind of scared at times, I'm not gonna lie, of like what I might find or what I might if that makes any sense. But Isaiah 41:10 always, I stick with, you know what I'm saying? Like, so that, like I told you, once I found Isaiah 41:10, I was like, all right, I can pretty much do this now. It doesn't really, there's nothing that I can't get through as long as I keep remembering that, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I'm gonna look that up. Isaiah 41:10.
Something you said, Adam, like resonated with me. You realized that you couldn't do it without him, and that's a major step. Is that you recognize that you can't do these things without him. That's what it means, that he's your foundation, that you recognize your strength comes from him. And when life brings its storms, and it will, and these doubts and these fears, typically when they say storms, they mean the inner turmoil we have in our minds and in our hearts, which we do. We turn to the knowledge of what he's done for us in the past, and we remember how when we gave things to him, how, like you said, things became easier for us to manage. And it's like, it doesn't have to be our outcome. It doesn't have to be right now. It doesn't have to be with my understanding or with my limited skills, or with my limited strength or willpower. We can do all things through him who strengthens us. And you recognize that, and that's a major step that some people get stuck at, because they're so prideful, like we said, that they don't want to admit, like, hey, I didn't do this on my own. Or when they do accomplish something, they don't give God the credit. They say, well, look at what I did. It's a major step to be recognized that God did this for you. God gave you the strength to do it.
Right. So did you find it, Jared?
Yes. So it says, okay. So this is the New International Version. I like this one in the King James. It says, "So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous hand." And then let me read what the King James says. I just saw it right there. Wait. KJV. There it is, King James Version. So the King James Version says, Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God. I will strengthen thee. Yeah, I will help thee. Yeah, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness. Wow, that's awesome.
And that's and that has been a staple of getting me through certain times. I just retell myself that Isaiah 41:10. My cousin was killed in Afghanistan in 2008, and John 15:13. That's something that always resonated me through as well. It's like, greater love has no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's friend. And, it's like, that was like something that I couldn't, like, I know my cousin, like that wasn't him doing that. He wasn't over, he didn't spend 20 plus years in the military. He didn't lose his life for whatever. Like, he, in my opinion, was serving the man above, and that's what, like, he lived by, was John 15:13. And it kind of is crappy that he was killed in action or whatever, but but no, Isaiah 41:10. I've told people that along the way in the last year that I don't know why that resonates with me so much. Like, because like I said, I thought I could do everything on my own. I could get through everything. And I'm like, I look back over the last, since 2018, and man, if it wasn't for the good guy upstairs, I don't know if I'd be sitting here right now. Honestly, have these conversations. Jared has probably been one of the greatest individuals I've ever met in my entire life. And I've met a lot of people in this world.
Thanks.
And like, just the stuff that he says, or he's always got the right thing to say, usually at the time you need it, And I don't know if my journey of looking for faith or whatever it is I'm on would be as strong or to where it's at if it wasn't for the influence of Jared. So I know God working through him and everything. Like, I know Jared, Jared knows his purpose, and that, and like I said, he's talked nothing but great things about you guys. Which I've never heard Jared really say much bad about anybody, but but
thank you, Miss Teresa.
But when he likes a certain subject matter or likes individuals or whatever, he really does go to bat for them. He really is loyal to them. But yeah, I wanted to tell you that, Jared. I really appreciate your friendship over these 5
Thanks.
years.
That's cool. Speaking of prayer and stuff, like you mentioned, you pray 5 times a day. I love praying, and like, this is what I do a lot is, if I see an ambulance go by, and if I see an ambulance go past me, or I hear one go by the house or where I work at, I literally stop and I pray for whoever's in the ambulance. Don't know who it is, doesn't matter. I pray for whoever's in the ambulance. I pray for the ambulance drivers, the EMTs, whatever. I don't know. It's just something, and I have to do that every time. I just cannot stop and not do it. And then another thing I do is, if I see people post on Facebook that they need prayers, like, sometimes I'll be like, oh, I just need to skip that post. But most of the time I say, no, I can't skip that post. I'll stop, and then I'll pray for them, or I do my best to remember to pray when I get off the Facebook, whatever. And that's just something that it convicts me to just pray for these people. And I don't know. Thank you, Miss Teresa. Teresa Little in the building from Mississippi. I'm so glad. What now?
So then we got Elisa in there. We know who she is.
What's up, Elisa? And we got we did have Mark Brenner. I don't know if Mark Brenner is still tuned in, but shout out to Mark Brenner and Mr. Eddie Salter for watching earlier. I don't know if Eddie was watching, but I know Mark was watching. Thank you, Mark.
Lisa said she messaged me. She said she's watching at home on her TV. We have
cool.
big screen.
The big hashtag big screen.
I don't know how to screen TV show. I'll find that out. But hey, but it's cool to have coworkers that supporting what we do. We got the team who asking questions, give us topic ideas too.
That's cool. I hear an echo on somebody's end.
It's probably mine.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's that noise I heard last week. Okay. Oh. So if somebody wants to donate, they can donate. They can go to quakeradio.com. They can donate, and then if they want to listen to the radio, go to Live 365, type in Quake Radio, or you can just go to our website link and listen, or you can download the Live 365 app to listen to the show.
Yeah, and so all the donations that we get on there are through Artisan Christian Testimony. That's who we're technically a department of, and all those the donations go towards doing shows like this, doing outreach events, concerts, flying jerks and all of that, flying us to Little Alabama, those kind of things. So it's not like we don't have to get a paycheck out of it. We're trying to help spread the gospel.
Hey, if anybody donates, it'll be a super duper blessing because we're a small radio station. We're not big by no means, and one day my dream is to get Quake Radio on the FM station out there and out here in Alabama.
On the FM dial.
Yes, on the FM dial. That look.
88.9.
Yes, that would be cool as grits, man. Like. and then Jason could come up with some kind of cool slogan for the, it's like, wait, I'm gonna read this one right here. There it is, right there, scrolling at the bottom of the screen, where music is therapy. But then Jason's gonna come on there when it's on the FM. It says, "Being a beacon of light in the darkness." I like it.
That's what I was called to do. Is just to go on to be on the friction. Most folks, church folks, don't go to. Trying to be that let people come to us. And you've already proven that you do that with Adam there.
Yeah.
A lot of people, I need to call and talk to somebody. Call and talk to people. And you kind of steer them in that direction. So that's kind of the goal. I mean, that's what all of us should be. To be that light in the darkness.
And I'm super thankful that Adam got to come on. Hope he gets to come back on and finish the show. If not, it was great having him on. And and like y'all were saying, it's good to ask. It's good to ask questions because it's good to ask God questions because you need to know the answers. Because really, when it comes to asking questions, it's good to ask believers. It's good to ask preachers, pastors. But the ultimate person you want to ask is God, because He'll never steer you wrong. Because sometimes people can steer you wrong, but God won't.
And He can introduce you to the right people at the right times. That when you're the most receptive to hear the answer that you need to hear or what you need to hear, and He's always faithful to at least point you to the right. I mean, sometimes the right people for one season aren't the right people for the next, and that doesn't mean that they're not important or they don't matter or what or anything. It just means they don't have the answers that you may have been seeking.
Yeah.
That's all.
And that is so true. Because sometimes people are with you for a season, literally. You know, this whole ministry started. I mean, I'll give out his first name because some people don't want to know. I don't know who he is. If you've been following long enough, but him and I started this whole radio station thing in like May of 2016. So we're talking 8 years of that. And then he was a broadcaster, all that stuff. That was his thing. And now we still talk. We're still friends. Kind of thing. You know, but if we wasn't there, I never would have done that. If I wouldn't have done that, I would have done it. We wouldn't be here. That first season. And that's okay. Welcome back, Adam.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my phone, but every time if I do a live feed, or Jared has been contested this, my alarm, I had an alarm set because I got something in the oven. If I get a call, a text, that alarm, anything, I can't hear nothing. Nobody can hear me. I don't know what's going on, and I got a new iPhone, so.
It's doing like the government not wanting to work. I gotta speak the truth here.
But yeah, I know you guys only on here for an hour, and I would like to come back on again. You know.
Oh, please do.
And I know, Jared told me, have some questions. I was like, well, I don't really have any questions today. I just didn't have much time to prepare, so I just figured maybe I'd come on and kind of speak a little bit about about my little bit of journey I've been on, and maybe that can help somebody that listens to this or something. Because that's more than anything. If one person can take something from what I've said in a positive way, then I so.
Absolutely. I know I was influenced by the conversations. And that's on the 5 years of writing, and that's the folks that I can't reach. I've never been down that. There's nothing wrong with and people with that. I know plenty of artists that have been down that. So it's good that you on the conversation. We'd love to have you on it. Questions or you're the one that has no scriptures today. I don't have scripture. Really. But we do thank you for coming on.
Yeah, I appreciate it. 2018. It was November. It was the Sunday after Thanksgiving of November of 18. That Sunday, I had a complete breakdown around some friends. I was hungover from the night before. I was just at my wits' end with everything. I went through a divorce 8 months earlier. I thought I was handling the divorce well. I guess apparently I wasn't. Things I didn't want to face, and I just was spiraling more than I ever had. And I knew I had an issue well before 2018. But I just got tired of it, and I said, I need to do something. So the very next day, I went to a local rehab place and talked with them, and then got a plan from there. And since then, I've been on I don't know how many different types of antidepressant medicines, different types of anxiety medicines, and stuff like. And I'll be real. I haven't been on depression medicines in. Oh heck! Earlier 23, I finally had enough of that stuff too, because I feel like if people are depressed, because it happens, mental health is just rampant, and if you are just taking medication for it and not counseling for what you're depressed about, then all you're doing is taking a medicine or something. You're replacing a med for the alcohol or the drugs or whatever you were doing, because you have to address why you're depressed. If you're not on the antidepressant medicines, don't address what the issue is. They're just helping you cope with what the issue you have. So I felt like I'm the only one that's going to get me out of the situation. Me and my faith are going to get me out of this rut. not this medication. So I threw it all away. I quit it all. Told Kurt I quit it all, like all the depression crap.
Wow.
Because nobody's gonna come save me. Nobody's gonna come bail me out. I need to do it with me in mind and my faith, and grab my boots and let's do it. And not everybody can do that, and I get that. Some people need to be medicated. I get that. But I felt that it wasn't I felt the medicine wasn't helping me. Because so once I got into more counseling and more therapy and stuff like that, I'd already been in for a couple of years. I was like, I don't even need these. I just need the good Lord above and some good people around me. And let's just rock it out. And I'm telling you, it was rough when I did that. I mean, Jared can contest to it. I've called that man at some of my weaker mental moments. And so now I just try to keep pushing forward. Since the day I quit alcohol and other stuff that I would experiment with per se, I've not had one hiccup along the way, because I refuse to give in to that devil of that. I refuse. I don't care whatever will happen in my life. I will never let that devil win on that aspect.
Awesome. God's great.
Yeah. But like I said, I didn't mean to sit on here and ramble and talk about a bunch of stuff. I just,
So look,
I mean a lot for you guys to let me come up on here and talk about it. And it's kind of therapeutic at times, to be honest, to talk to people that either A, have been through it, or B, legitimately want to see the best version of yourself you could be, or like Jason here's willing to take a chance on me and another friend of mine doing a spot on his little radio thing and stuff, and just stuff like that. Like, that means a lot. Like, so just being able to talk to people that don't judge and stuff like that. I mean, there needs to be more people in the world like you guys.
Look at Teresa's comment. Miss Teresa Little says, "That's exactly what I'm going through myself right now. I just started therapy, and then talking about it helps me cope better. And it does help to get it off your chest. Because look, she's been going through a lot of problems. She's been in and out of the hospital, the ER several times, and I know her personally from meeting her. So everybody that's watching, pray for Miss Teresa. But I'm glad you get to."
Yep.
Yeah.
Teresa, I told you, girl, call me, because she's dealing with some cardiologist stuff that I've been going through. I've been in and out of cardiologists last year. And, stress is a big one that leads to a lot of people's issues. And you got to talk about stuff. And so many people in this, especially, I know women have whatever mental issues and stuff like that as well, mental health. But men don't talk enough about it. Men are so prideful and so like caveman like. I'm supposed to be tough. I can't talk about this. I gotta be the man. I can't talk. I can't be weak. I can't cry. I can't no, you need a good cry every now and then. You need to find a way to talk about stuff to people. So if you're a guy out there struggling with some stuff, if you could find a way to get that stuff out of you, I'm telling you, it would change your life. It would change your life.
Stress.
Go ahead, Jared.
No, go ahead.
I just want to throw one plug out there on that reference with men. This isn't he's not really a Christian artist, but I've heard of Dax, D-A-X. He has a song called "To Be a Man." Have you ever listened to that, the original version, and then he has extended versions with like other people that kind of chime in? If you don't cry by the time you're done listening to it, I mean, there's something wrong.
Yeah,
it's such a powerful thing.
It's powerful. I love that guy.
Yeah, and then and then he has. I remember there's something else there. It came in and went out as fast as it came in. Go ahead, Jared. I lost it.
Oh, that's okay. I mean, you go on. Some of Dax.
Yeah, it's gone.
Okay. Teresa says, "I've shed a lot of tears. I've had a good support system." That's good. So look, I tell you another. So I need to look him up. And another one is Red, and I've turned Adam on to Red. I'm such a huge Red fan. I've seen them 4 times, and I ain't gonna lie. When I finally got to meet the band, I nerded out. I was like a little kid at the candy store getting a lollipop. I was like, "Woo!" So like they do a song. It's off their album Until We Have Faces, and I got the CD. And the song's called Not Alone, and there's a live video that was recorded for one of the DVDs. And then Red didn't do an official video, but they did a fan letters video. And if you watch the fan letters video, and after you watch it and listen, you go back and watch and read the letters. They actually took fan letters that people sent in of being depressed and trying to commit suicide or whatever, and they wrote about their struggles and how they got through it. And so, and the song, so I let my buddy Daniel Sullivan listen to it, or I sent it to Daniel, and he come back to me and told me, he said, man, he said, look, he said, that song was so powerful, I just started crying. And I've never expected to hear that from my buddy of all people, because he's one of those people you just don't hear that kind of thing from. So when he said it, I knew it was good. But in fact, let me read the lyrics to you. So these are some powerful lyrics. So let me just type this in. LYRCS. All right. So I'm just gonna read all the lyrics. It's a great song.
The whole.
But no, I'm just gonna read a good bit of it. But it says slowly fading away, you're lost and so afraid. Where is the hope in a world so cold? Looking for a distant light, someone who can save a life. Living in fear that no one will hear you cry. Can you save me now? And it says, I am with you. I will carry you through it all. I won't leave you. I will catch you when you feel like letting go, because you're not alone. And then I'll just go ahead, and it's not long. And then it says, your heart is full of broken dreams, just a fading memory, and everything's gone, but the pain carries on, lost in the rain again. Where will it ever end? The arms of relief seem so out of reach, but I am here. I am with you. I will carry you through it all. I won't leave you. I will catch you when you feel like letting go, because you're not alone. And it says, I will be your hope when you feel like it's over. I will pick you up when your whole world shatters. And when you're finally in my arms, you'll look up and see love has a face. I am with you. I will carry you through it all. I won't leave you. I will catch you when you feel like letting go, because you're not alone. It says, the last part says, I will be your hope. You're not alone. I will pick you up. I will be your hope. I will be your hope. And it says, slowly fading away, you're lost and so afraid. Where is the hope in a world so cold?
Mm-hmm.
So that tells me, like, even I've cried listening to that song, because it's one of my favorite songs that Red's done.
Mm-hmm.
And hey, Tony. And so what that tells me is like the Bible says, he will not forsake you. He will not leave you. As long as you trust in God and give your stress to Him, then you're not alone. That tells me that you're not alone. But one of the problems is people, we want to, of course, like I was talking about earlier, we want to try to fix everything ourselves. And then we want to just, oh shoot, I lost my, like, we want to try to fix ourselves. Of course, we can't do it. And, pride gets in the way, and we just need to, so when somebody says, I give it to God, I know people that say they give it to God, but then I hear them say all the time, well, this and this didn't happen, or how come this didn't? And I tell them, I said, look, God's not a magic genie in a bottle. He's not going, and it's like, if you truly gave it to God, why are we having this conversation? Because if you truly give everything to God, we wouldn't be having this conversation, or I wouldn't be hearing you complain about this, complain about that,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I was going to do a quick reference to Red. I started my Christian music journey in I think it was March. It was January of 2011, and Red came on, and they were at Winter Jam, and I looked at my wife and go, "This is Christian. I can do this," because I got pyrotechnics going, and I fell in love with Christian metal at that point. So there's a Red connection there. Anything they do, especially Until We Have Faces album, is phenomenal. But
man.
I did remember what I lost before. When men are afraid to cry, like I shouldn't be crying. Men are supposed to cry. There's 2 words. It's the shortest verse in the Bible. It's 2 words. Jesus wept. And if Jesus
Ooh.
can cry, is it not? Are we not able to? I mean, he did. So what's wrong with it? I want to be like as much like Christ as I can. And if Jesus was able to weep, so can we. So it's
Man.
never a bad thing to weep. You know, you stub
I
your
like
toe.
that.
You stub your toe and you fall down on the floor, rolling around, crying. Well, maybe it's a little too much, but but it's not wrong to weep if you're upset. If you're if you lose someone, whatever, it's not wrong to weep. Jesus did. I'm okay with that. So that's what I forgot for was Jesus wept. I don't remember what scripture it is exactly, but it's the shortest verse. It's 2 words.
Yeah, it's the shortest verse in the Bible. Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, Jesus wept. So
I believe.
I said we're approaching that 1 hour mark. So
Before I get out of here, let me ask: how did you
Absolutely.
so? How did you guys? How did you guys come about? Like, how did you guys all meet each other? Like, how did you guys decide to do this?
random circle. We just said, hey, we threw darts. No. Jared, I met through on Facebook through ministry
Yes.
stuff. I'm not exactly sure how the connection occurred.
It was probably Christian music because,
Oh, it's Christian
like,
music, yeah.
I'd literally go through and I look up all these Christian artists. Like, I'll look up the band and I'll look up the band names and I'll find the band members and add them as friends on Facebook. And that's how, I follow a lot of Christian bands that way, the band members and stuff.
Mhm.
I believe that's how I found Jason and his radio station was through looking up Christian rock music on Facebook.
Okay. Yeah,
Something like that. I believe us.
Yeah, I got a friend request from someone. We had a bunch of mutual friends. I was like, that's cool. He does music stuff. I knew the people that he knew. So that was that. And then we kind of continued. And Mitchell, I know from work.
Oh, well, Jared was on. He was on another panel one time, and he was in the box. He was on a panel with 2 people that I knew because they're from where I live, and I live in Missouri, and Southeast Missouri, and he was on there with Adelaide and Les Respondic. What's his wife's band
Laura.
name, or what's it? Jared?
Adelaide.
Adelaide is the band.
That's his wife.
Laura is his wife. Unless
Okay,
I know Les and Laura really well.
Yeah, so they're from where I'm from, and I've played. I played. We play slow pitch, competitive slow pitch softball, and Les played for, I don't know, a good decade or so. And I guess his life got busy, and they kind of disbanded their team. But they always had most of their team was built of people from their church or whatever, or people that were part of another church or whatever, and they were called Boss. And it stood. Now I can't even think of what it stands for now, but it was something and something. I can't even think of it. But they had a couple different, and they were good. They were all good players. And they're more than anything. Like I went up on the panel that day because I hadn't seen Les in years, and I had no clue his wife was a singer. No clue. And music's phenomenal. And I was like, holy cow! I was like, this is unreal that I was friends with you or knew of you. And I said, but of all the teams we played throughout the years, you guys were so competitive. But you guys were the most respectful team you could ever play against. Les is just, he's a stand-up dude.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And
you're not that far from us because we're in eastern Iowa. So
yeah, I'm down. I'm an hour and 10 minutes straight down 55 from St. Louis.
Okay. Yeah, St. Louis is about 3.5 from here, so about 4 or 5 hours. Because I've done a couple of shows with Laura or with Adelaide. Well, no, we've tried to do a couple of shows. I actually never did a show with them. Something always came up, whatever. But I mean,
so the cool thing. So what Adam's referencing
I'm gonna get out of
to.
here. I'm gonna still watch, but I'm gonna get out of here, guys.
Okay.
So look, we had a. Thank you, Adam. See ya. So what Adam's referring to was the day we had our live telethon show where we were raising money for Quake Radio, that was the day that we interviewed Adelaide, or I got to interview Adelaide that day. And then Adam was watching, and then he said, "Oh, that's Les. I went to," and they were talking
Yeah.
back and forth. So yeah, so I won't never forget that. That's awesome. That's a good connection. Look, she's got a heavenly voice. Like I've got
Mhm.
all three of their albums on CD, and I was playing them today. And her song "Strong and Brave" that she did with him is phenomenal.
Yeah, they're amazing folks. I always, every time I've seen them a few times, I always end up talking to Les more than Laura. I apologize for that every time. Like, I'm sorry, but Les is one of those people you just have to talk to.
So I do have a question about them before we get off. Is
Okay.
so he mentioned and like I love full bands. I love seeing full bands, but I heard him mention that it's just her playing to backing music instead of a full band anymore. I wonder how come they don't have a full band anymore. Was it a budget thing or?
I can't answer. I mean, I know what he kind of told me, but I don't. I'm not. I'm not going to put
Okay.
that out there. 'Cause I don't know the.
Oh, that's
I
okay. That's okay.
I just know one of the band members is doing his own music. She just does tracks now, basically. And I saw her in Illinois just recently too.
Oh, that's cool. I would love to get them a show down here because thank you, Adam. Adam's comment right there. That's cool. But I would love to see her live and get them a show down here. That would be epic.
Make it happen.
Yeah, that's right.
Make it happen. So yeah, we passed that 1 hour mark, which isn't a bad thing. It was just,
It's been a great live. You got any final words you want to say, Mitchell?
there we go. Go ahead.
Yes, Adam. Just keep asking questions. Stay close to people like Jared. Like you said, he's hiding. Obviously, we're intended to find each other. You're afraid of like how far you come. You're getting in there. Everybody else listening and who doubts themselves or too hard on themselves, it doesn't come all at once. It comes over time. It comes with, and it comes with just living your life the best you can each day and giving the rest to God and trusting Him.
Absolutely.
Teresa says very good live, and no, there was no rambling, Adam. You did awesome. Thank you for coming on.
I would definitely say not a rambling thing. No, that's how I get too sometimes. The hard part is getting me to shut up. But you guys do a good job with that, which is not a bad thing.
Great advice from you all. Teresa says, "Please continue healing for me." I sure will. Maybe Chuck Norris can roundhouse kick it. Speaking of Chuck Norris, they said he's the only person on earth that can kick you in the back of the face.
There you go.
That's a knee slapper.
Yep. So, did you want to pray us out tonight?
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Lord, for this great live tonight. Thank you for Adam coming on. Thank you for answering prayers, and thank you for Miss Teresa and Mark Brenner and Tony and Miss Alyssa and everybody else that got to watch. And hope a lot of people get to hear this great message tonight and get to hear a good word. Thank you for Mitchell. Thank you for Jason. And thank you so much for an awesome day. It's been a great live. And Jesus Christ, now I pray. Amen.
I'll go ahead